What's going on, leaders? Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to Oficina de Tyler. Hey, first of all, thank you all so much for everything you do for the youth here at Oaks. We have such great days ahead together, and I am praying sincerely that it is just incredibly fulfilling to you in this next season of leadership, of servanthood. And so I just applaud you all, and I'm so grateful for you. And it is a true joy and honor to lead alongside you all in this season. I want to give you what I told you I was going to get you yesterday. I want to give you 7 ways to win as a youth small group leader. Okay. I'm sure a lot of you know all this stuff before. There's plenty of experience around this table right now. But I want to just walk through 7 quick steps on how to win. That's a strong word, but win as a small group leader for the youth. Okay. Just 7 really quick tips. All right. Number 1, for your group, start a group thread. Okay. Start a group thread. Get them all together in a thread, whether that's on Slack, in an iMessage, whatever way you think is the most simple and scalable. I'll let you decide that. You can do GroupMe. It doesn't matter. There's no streamlined software that I say we must stick with. Whatever works. Maybe even ask your students what's the best way to all kind of communicate, because you want to build that community together. Not only are you connecting with them, but you're connecting them with one another as well. Okay, that's the power of community. All right, it's not just a classroom, it's community. Okay, so start a group thread. That's number 1. Number 2, follow up with them if they're absent. Okay, so follow up with them. So we should be able to say, hey, I don't know, Gabe, who was missing tonight? And Gabe would know off the top of his head, okay, these 4 guys weren't here, but they're a part of this bracket of people that I help pastor. Okay, so follow up with them if they're absent. You know how it is, man. It's like if they get that touch, if they know that they were missed, it just means so much to them. And we want them to know that they mean a lot to us. And we notice if they're not there, not just when they're there. Okay, so follow up with them if they're absent. Okay. Number 3, remind them about the weekly service, about youth group. So just shoot a text out in said group thread. Hey guys, hey girls, reminder this Wednesday, can't wait to see you. We're in this series, or this thing's going on, or whatever it might be. Just remind them about the weekly service. That's number 3. Number 4, this is huge. Okay. This is a big one. Okay. Be a great facilitator. Okay. Be a great facilitator. When we are leading groups, our aim is not to be the most interesting. We are to be the most interested. Okay. So we facilitate. Hey, whatever the questions are, let's just say it's, hey, what ministered to you the most tonight? What stuck out to you the most? Oh, when PT said this is what stuck out to me. Okay. Hey, what do you think is something you could do this week to maybe take a step toward, that principle or that point? Hey, by the way, what do you think? Hey, matter of fact, what would you say to this person? And just knowing how to connect the conversation. It's not about being the most interesting, but the most interested. Okay, so asking questions. That's the power of a facilitator. That's the power of a great leader, is asking the right questions. You don't always need to have something to say. It's not a time for us to give a monologue or our own version of the message. It's simply a time to ask questions. Hey, how did that impact you? And what are you going to do about it? Okay, and then that's when you interject exhortation and advice and encouragement from your own lives. That's when you take a moment to pastor. But it's not for us to make to preach our own message. Okay, they just already sat through 30-40 minutes listening to myself or someone else, whoever's speaking. So if we have 20 to 30 minutes in a group setting, we are just to ask questions and facilitate the room, work the room, work your circle. Okay, unpack. Okay, even if, here's the power of just questions. Even if the answer, or you have it, even if you have a piece of advice that you know will unlock them, if you can ask them questions, via a journey to get them to seeing the answer within themselves, that answer means so much more to somebody because they found it in themselves. Most of the time, people know what to do. So instead of just exhorting them right off the bat, at least, it's just about asking them the questions to help get there. Okay. It's about rallying the group. Okay. So let's please not get in the seat of a group leader and then just take off with all this other advice in a whole nother sermon. That's probably a different type of a group that maybe some of us have led before, but we're not giving instruction, at least right off the bat. Okay. It's letting them, leaders eat last, right? I'm sorry. Yes, leaders eat last, but that's a different metaphor here I'm not going to get into. Okay. So be a facilitator. Okay. Be a facilitator. All right. Number 5. Know their personal lives. Know their personal lives. Know if they, are in a club or sport. Know the things that matter to them. Know that, like, if you have social media, follow them on social media. That's probably an important thing to do. You want to get, because they'll let you in real quick on their personal lives, right? And so know their personal. Know if they are in a single parent household. Know if they love their dog. I don't know, but know them personally. You've heard it said before that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And this is why we have groups in place, because you are helping our pastoral staff here literally pastor our people, pastor our students. And so if they have a game on Friday night, it's very likely to scale. I'm not able to go to every single game. But you can pull your group together. Maybe, I'm not asking for an every week commitment. You're doing something with them, but just at least checking up on them. Hey, how was Friday's game, etc. Okay. So know their lives personally, know their personal lives. Okay. Not just them at church or in group. Okay. So I did check. I know there was a question about this. I did check on our policy here as far as texting minors. And because we do background checks and things leading up to you being in a group leadership role, I will have standard operating procedures in place for, for us reaching out on an operational level. But you do have the ability, of course, with those in your group, okay? With those in your group, you do have the ability and the permission to text them personally. Now, what I'm going to do and what you can help me with is I am going to communicate to their guardians that this is going to be kind of how we do it, and the reason why y'all might be reaching out to them as well. Now, I don't want parents to be caught by surprise. Some grown man or grown woman is texting their child. That's when it can feel a little bit, off for parents. But I'm going to communicate that this is how we do it here, and we want to effectively mentor and pastor and disciple your students. Okay, so this is our model. But again, it's going to be communicated as best and diligently as we can. Okay. And I can have a list of things today to say, like a SOP saying, you can, this is some things that we don't say. This is maybe some things that we say. Okay. But know their personal lives. That's number 5. Number 6, take attendance. And so we can move back to planning center groups. Okay, the orange tab where you can take attendance. That's why we would have 2 or 3 group leaders, and y'all could work it out administratively who is doing what while somebody is opening up group or whatever. I just trust that y'all will work it out in a simple way. That way it's not taking 10 minutes to take attendance and then only 10 or 15 minutes of good dialogue, good conversation. Unless we have any other suggestions of how we take attendance. I know we've been doing check-ins. Okay, so there are some minor details that I'm working out because I don't necessarily want to do check-ins and group attendance. That's just, I think, overdoing it a little bit. But I do feel good with moving back toward the group system. and we just being diligent and taking attendance. Okay. Now I know that I need to do a proper training for that as well. So I can record a screen grab or whatever we call it, screen recording. Okay. So number 6, take attendance. Okay. Number 7, this is big. Get them involved. Get them on the team. Get them involved. Okay. Now, of course, if you really feel like they're not in a place within their character or etc., maybe for any type of responsibility, then that's different. But we want to, man, we want the students to truly believe and know and function in the fact that, hey, this is their ministry, so they can contribute. This is their house, right? There's some ownership taken. So get them on the team. If you hear of anything, any students talking about how they want to serve, then hey, let's create a place. We always have room for those who are actually ready to serve. We'll create a space. Okay, we have plenty of room for that. Or maybe if you identify somebody that you feel like could find joy in serving or could contribute, or it's just looking for a place to belong, maybe a little bit more of a community, like getting on a team or something like that, you can absolutely help me recruit them. Okay, mention to them, have you considered, because a lot of the students, they just don't know that they can have a place on a team. All right. Okay, so start a group thread, follow up with them if absent, remind them weekly about service, be a facilitator. That one's huge. Okay, we can take that. We can do a 3-hour masterclass on the art of facilitation. Okay, know their personal lives, take attendance, and get them on the team. All right. Hey, I love you guys so much. If you have any questions or comments or concerns about anything that we have went over today, please let me know. All right. All right. Love your family. Peace.